SideScrollers is brought to you by you. If you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/SideScrollers. It's time for SideScrollers on YouTube.com with me, Stuttering Craig. I like movies that have sand in them. Wow.
He doesn't like it in his mouth.
And producer extraordinaire, Travis Key.
I don't like the texture in my mouth.
What? And brought to you by you, the G2 community at patreon.com/SideScrollers. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. It's time for SideScrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, welcome on out to SideScrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and Twitch.tv. What's going on, everybody? Hi, Southern Craig. Happy Tuesday to you. You having a good day? Almost a hump day? Yeah, hopefully you're having a great one. Let's freaking go. We got an awesome show today. I am beyond excited to have Cam on with us. Cody, Camelot. It's going to be awesome. Sporting the shades in solidarity. But first, let's introduce the non-shaded version of Travis Keys.
Good morning.
How are you?
Wonderful morning today. I started my day off listening to the Lady Desiree play piano on screen. So
Desiree's
been a good morning.
Spectacular, she is. Speaking of spectacular, and she is, it's Blabs.
I feel like I look like a bug with these on without a baseball hat. But hello! Hi, I really can't see unless I move my head like this and then I'm able to see because these are really, really dark.
Look,
Hi.
let's just be real. Anytime Cam's on,
Shades.
it's shades. That's right.
Shades day.
Speaking of the man himself, joining us today, Camelot 331. Let's go. Hello, how are you, buddy?
I've had a hangover for 4 days. Hence the shades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's very necessary. I'm out of ibuprofen. I bought the 2-pack at Costco that has like 6,000 pills for like $8, and I've taken all of them.
So you're going hard right now, huh, man?
Yeah, dude. It's a good time.
What's the occasion?
Alcohol. Ick.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Too much of that, reaffirming that I'm happy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so
as soon as you're sober, then you're like, oh damn, I don't want to be alive. So you have to drink, whiskey.
Whiskey. So what's your just out of curiosity, what's your drink of choice?
I've been drinking a lot of Woodford lately.
Woodford's good,
What is
man.
that?
Yeah.
Is that whiskey?
Yeah, it's delicious. Me and Critical Drinker got smashed off of it like Friday in Houston. It was good.
I saw your tweet saying you had a great time down at Anime Matsuri, huh?
Oh, it was so good. It was the funnest con I've ever been to for sure. That's just because me, Gary, Drinker, Nick, Frank Gore.
Wait, Frank Gore from the 49ers?
Only Frank Gore, yes.
Really?
Amazing. Yeah, the 49ers. That guy, yeah, same guy.
Like one of the leading rushers in the NFL during his heyday, Frank Gore hanging out and drinking with you?
Frank Gore, yep.
Let's go. Let's go. So bringing people together.
Oh,
Let's go.
God. Yeah, no, it was great, man. It was a lot of fun. Can't wait to go back. So
that's awesome. Well, I'm glad you're doing all right. As that Don Parker points out over on Rumble, your liver must be screaming right now.
Yeah. Hopefully, it only screams a little while longer, and then I don't have a mortgage anymore, and we're good.
Do you can we see your eyes right now? I just want to see how bloodshot they are.
They're normal.
Are they? is the light just pounding off your?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, just you're going. Ah.
Yeah, dude.
Man,
it's wild.
Real talk. Just before we get into all the good stuff here today, this may be the most important thing I got to ask you today. Like, are you? Do you have a long life expectancy ahead of you, Cody?
No. No, I've been saying this since I was 16. I was like, 50 is a no-go.
Yeah.
Like I'm exiting. Okay. Like voluntarily. Not happening.
Really?
I'm in control of my destiny, Craig.
Well, that's good. That's
I ain't
good.
gonna be 78, Craig, and people pushing my ass in a wheelchair, and I'm having to like look at a nurse's ass, but then that's illegal because it's like 20/40 or something. And I'm like, no, you know what? I will still be erect and ready.
Nah, you stare at that girl's butt. It's fine.
What if I want to, slap it? Because I'm 78, right? So what are they gonna do? Arrest my ass?
Pretend that the TV doesn't work and unplug it and be like, ma'am, it's not working. And she's bending over trying to fix it.
I'm trying to get the controller.
Yeah, honk honk.
Please, for the love of God.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. As Hal says, full Chris Farley right here, man. I'll tell you what, you got a mission. That's to go as hard as you can. Well, I'll tell you what, buddy. I want you to be here as long as you want to be here. I'm not one to tell anybody how you live, but I got to be honest. I enjoy your company, and I don't want anything bad to happen to you. So that's all.
I appreciate it. Hell yeah.
For sure. Well, good. I just want to make sure you're having a good time. Oh, there's Mark. What's he say?
Extra girl pushes me around in a wheelchair now, and she lets me touch her boobs.
Let's go. All right, good for you.
Right.
See, that's not fair because you're married to her. So but I want to be married to all the nurses that push me around though. There's got to be at least 9.
Isn't that legal in some state? You can do that. Get married with a bunch of people.
Sure.
Utah. No.
Sweet home Utah.
Oh, Utah. I do got a question about you. Let's see. I think there was a tweet that you had out a little bit ago. I'm trying to find it because there was something that I saw extremely interesting. I'll see if I can find it later, but I was going to ask you about it, but whatever. We'll get to that later on. Well, look, we got a fun one today. We got a lot going on. We got lots to talk about. We got Mortal Kombat and Game Boys and Nintendos and Sonics and video games and Star Wars and all sorts of stuff. Coming up tomorrow, we have Adam and Flawed on the show, which is always a great time. This Thursday, Cam, I don't know if you know this, but I'm going to be doing an interview with Adam one-on-one. I've never actually interviewed him one-on-one. So if there's anything you'd like to ask Adam Krigler, you let me know, and we'll get to the heart of it on Thursday.
Sounds like a plan.
We're going to get into the good stuff.
Yeah, dude.
On Friday, we're going to have the head of product from Rumble on. Rick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Rick's going to be joining us. He's going to be telling us about all the stuff they got coming up on Rumble here. Next Thursday, we're trying to lock in Thursdays as interview day. Next Thursday, we'll be doing a one-on-one with Salty Cracker, which is fun. And then the following Thursday, we'll have Razor Fist on.
So, sweet.
Lots of good guests coming up.
Yeah.
All while Blabs is out of town in Australia. So way to go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Want to remind you guys, make sure you guys head over to the SideScrollers Plays channel. It's growing, which is great. If you guys like the live stuff, the live gameplay stuff, it's not here anymore. It's over on the SideScrollers Plays channel. Cam, do you like, I don't know, do you have a favorite game that you like to play or something you're really good at?
Oh, God, that I'm good at? Probably any of the classic Resident Evil games.
Oh, yeah?
I could speedrun all of them. But as far as things I like to play, I've been playing Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater on PlayStation 2 a lot lately. So that's all I've been doing. Nothing else.
Maybe we could do some sort of challenge with you or something. I don't know. Like Dan Vask and I have this show called the Retro Gaming Police where we challenge each other to stuff. You were in yesterday. I think that'd be fun to do. We'll get you in there and see if we can do that. That'd be great. Obviously, Cam, tell everybody where they can find you, obviously, because you're doing great. And by the way, congratulations on just murdering the charts with your super chats and stuff. Amazing stuff.
It's been pretty interesting. I don't know how it's possible, but because every time I look at it, it's like I show speed and then me and then Tim Pool. I'm like, what? Why the hell am I up here? This is so strange.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff.
Pretty cool.
But yeah, obviously go find Cam over on his channel, Camelot331. Talking about, it says, I like telling embarrassing stories. I'm a masochist, so please tear me apart. That's the about page.
Yeah, so I that was the first day I uploaded a video. I just typed that in for some reason, and I just never changed it. So it worked out.
Works in so many ways. Look at that. Check that out right there. Who did your channel artwork, by the way?
Oh my gosh, I don't remember. Some guy that I paid. I just can't remember who it was.
Amen.
He did Nick Ricada, one of his artworks too. But yeah, dude, I was I think 4 subs from 222K, and then I hit that weird lull period that we all love, where YouTube's like, you don't exist, and they turn the switch and your channel's dead. And then I just start losing subs. So like now I'm 80 away. I'm like, you sons of bitches. I was this close, and they're gonna turn the switch. How could they do this to me, Greg?
You know, the one thing that I've heard over and over again, and I don't know how to answer that for you, Cody. But we are going to talk about YouTube though today. We got a lot to talk about with YouTube today. But I've heard that the first 100,000 subscribers is the easy, right? They kind of boost you the first 100K, and then after that, they turn down. They're like, hey, figure it out, you dummies.
Really?
But that's just, yeah, I know. Yeah. My glasses feel like they're totally crooked on my face. Are they totally crooked on my face?
Maybe you just have a crooked face.
That's what I was gonna say. Your face is a little crooked.
Are my
Maybe
glasses
it's the hat
crooked?
that's crooked, and now everything is off.
This is just driving me freaking crazy. I keep tinkering with them. I feel like my face is totally crooked. I don't even understand what's going on.
Maybe you have a unsymmetrical face.
I had the most symmetrical face, Blabs. The most.
Okay, prove it. Take a ruler, measuring tape. Go.
Blabs, shut up.
No, dude. It was weird. It was the 100K was real. It was pretty easy because it was like, I don't know, probably 5 months after I started like really digging into YouTube, I hit 100K. It was real fast, and yeah, and then it got way slower. But then there was that one weird ass period. I think I was at like 108K, and then I released a video and got to like 170.
Popped off, huh?
In like 3 weeks or something.
Was that the one? Was that the video where you talked about how you're like 30 years old, don't have any friends?
Yeah, that's a good video. Well, it depends on what like my mood. So like, if I'm in a good mood, like I'm like that video was like turbo gay. But if I'm in a bad mood, then I'm like, that was a good video. I can't watch it because I'll get upset.
Well, do you feel like you have more friends now?
Oh yeah,
good.
When I made that video, so the point of the video at the very end is like the revelation that all these people that I'm meeting online that I'm getting to hang out with are legitimate, like they're real people, they're legitimate friends, right? So it's kind of like this revelation. And I also had this revelation as I filmed the video. So that's why I get all weird and so I'll be
right. Well,
so
I want to talk about something.
No, what are you doing, Craig? Stop.
Sorry. Just saying, everybody go watch it. Go watch it. Right. Look at this.
You dare do this to me.
2.2 million views. Look at that. Boom. Right there. Add another thumbs up to the pile there.
Look at you, Craig. Yeah. So at any rate, now, dude, I got so many great people. I talk to Nick Ricada like all day, every day. All day. Like we text all day, every day. We'll be on like shows together and we're both like guests and we're just like talking the whole time and like just shit talking. Like it's great.
Talking the show.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people like that. I talked to Gary, I talked to Critical Drinker, I talked like all these creators that I've always really enjoyed watching, and now they're all just like normal ass friends. Pretty cool, man.
Dude, that's awesome, man. That's great. You know what? I need to give you my number. I will drive to Alabama to hang out with you for the night, man.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Have you seen my pool?
On Twitter, I have.
It's starting to get.
You have a pool?
Well,
I thought that was like some place you go to. You have a pool?
No, that's like on my back like deck.
And how much is it for maintenance? That's gonna be a huge pain in the ass. It's a big ass pool.
It's well. I guess it's not too bad. I got a new liner for it, which was $6,000, and
nice.
It looks
living the life, man.
Dude, it looks so much better. It was like awful, and then I got that liner, and now it looks like a brand new like luxury pool, and it's all clear and nice and cuddly. The water feels
cuddly
so good.
Water.
Yeah, when it touches your skin. Oh my god, dude! It's like
cuddly.
Yeah, it's like thick, like so you can put your hands in it and like spread it, and then it's like perfectly clear, and there's like no dimples. It's the weirdest thing in the world. Like it's like super water.
I feel like you were describing something else there for a second, but okay.
No, it's like that. But like when you jump in, right? Like the water penetrates your clothes, hits your brown eye. I can't explain it, man. It's
Do you
something
use like chlorine or like the salt?
It's a saltwater pool.
Ooh, I'm totally visiting.
Saltwater.
So the pH balance.
Totally visiting.
Yeah, dude. Tingles. But now, the thing is, though, Craig, it's real sucky because when I get out, like my sack looks like a walnut. It's like this. It's like this big, this big, and I'm like, dude, I'm like trying to pull it apart, like make it like expand. I'm like, please, God, come back.
Is that Is that the salt water or
Is
the
that a
roids?
problem you guys really have?
Yes.
Are you juicing up?
Yeah.
Are
No.
you- oh, you're not? Okay. I don't know.
No, I'm saying I will here soon, like in maybe 3 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, when I get like 37, I'm gonna be like, throw caution to the wind.
I
I
got 13 years.
I was gonna die at 50. So I got 13 years to
God.
blast gear and look like a monster. Like it look like just I'm just gonna be like just
Why?
Hey, easy.
because I'm gonna die. So I don't like I'm gonna get giant. I'm gonna be like 400 pounds. Solid rock, Labs.
I feel like there's going to be something in your life that's going to hit you, and you're going to go. There's
He's
a reason
gonna
for
find
living.
a woman. He's gonna
Yep.
be like, never mind.
Yeah.
No.
Or
He's like, I'm never looking for love ever again. That's the state he's in right now. He's like, fuck women, literally speaking, all of them. But then he's gonna meet the one that he actually loves, and he's like, goddamn.
No, see, I'm not 14. So like I've been living this life for almost 8 years now. And I plan on dying this way because it's just much more preferred.
Haven't you seen those Hugh Grant movies? It's gonna change, man.
Much more preferred, Blabs. Because like there is not a woman on this planet. Okay, because I have to dump the load. Like there is no waiting. It's all every day, twice a day. I'm like a rabbit. Okay, so there is not a woman on earth that
Did you really just tell us all this?
It doesn't get 2 to 3 months in, and they're like, they start like waning and they can't keep up anymore.
a little too much. Yeah.
No, not happening. Oh, I have a headache. My stomach hurts. My ass hurts. Oh god, no, fuck that. I would just dump a load once a month, move on to the next one, spread it in. It's good for your pores anyway. It's whatever, dude.
I found the tweet that I was gonna ask you about.
Flawed knows what I'm talking about in the chat.
My ass hurts. Yeah. Get some preparation H for that, right, Flawed?
Hey, speaking of Flawed, Big Top came in with the $5 direct donation. Says, "Hey, yo, Adam said he had to cancel his interview. He has a meeting. Ex-model stuff. That's right. No,
he's so adorable. Look at it, old Adam's cute little face."
And then Darian came in with the 199. Says, "Blaz works for the FBI. Let's go."
The shades, man. I look like a bug-eye fed.
You do.
Yeah. All right, so before we get into hard news and gaming and entertainment, all that stuff, because we do have a lot to talk about. I found the tweet that I wanted to share with you, and this is a tweet that I think really sums up your line of thinking, Cam. It's from the Steve Harvey. So it says Steve Harvey's wife filed for divorce and wants $400 million in a settlement after allegedly cheating on Steve with his bodyguard and chef. Lol. Why do you not want to get married again, Camelot? So just to be clear, she cheated on him, and now she says, I want $400 million because he drove me away, I guess.
Allegedly. So this is what always happens, Craig. So it doesn't matter what happens, but it's your fault, Craig. So you could be like, hey, like you work too much, Craig. You just working too hard on SideScrollers. You taking too much time away from me. Therefore, I had to go hang out with Tyrone. So but see, it's your fault, Craig. It's your fault, Craig. Right? And that's the point. Is it's always your fault, or you're just not giving me what I want. Therefore, I won't have your stuff. No, Craig.
No, you're just shitting all over women and putting them all into one thing because of that vulture.
No.
Yes.
People change.
Yes, you are.
People change, and I'm mainly speaking about marriage. Obviously not all chicks gonna rob you blind, but I'm speaking specifically about marriage. Never gonna happen. Not in my life. Ever gonna happen.
Blabs, just like in all facets of life, it's the very few that ruin it for everybody.
Yeah.
And in this case, it's Steve Harvey's wife ruining it.
Ruined it for Cody, man.
Yes.
He's just like, God damn it, Steve, get your woman in order now. It's ruined for me. Somehow.
Yeah, you know what's crazy,
Logic.
Greg, is people are like, but she allegedly did a thing, therefore she shouldn't be awarded anything. And I'm like, A, depends on what state you're in, and B, it also depends on the judge and like the divorce proceedings. Infidelity almost has nothing to do with divorce. Your ex-wife or wife could go and just be like, go to Kensington, Pennsylvania, and just hook up with every homeless dude on the street and then come home and still be like, I want $10 million. And the court will be like, oh, you'd be like, wait, but she went to Kensington. I saw her on video in Kensington, Craig, taking all the pop. And then the judge is going to be like, what does that have to do with anything? And you're like, but I thought. And they're like, you thought wrong. And you're like, oh, well, this sucks. So no, and look, the furthest I would go, Blabs, look, I met a girl and she didn't suck ass like all women. and she was the
She
only
gave
woman.
subpar Rimmys, is what
She
you're
was the
saying?
only woman, bloobs, that wasn't sucking the ass the whole damn time. All right, and didn't eventually suck ass after like 6 months. You know, if I met a girl like that, I'd be like, all right, cool, we're partners, and we're gonna hang out. But there ain't no way in hell I'm bringing the government into that. It's not happening.
Well,
Don't you get like a tax discount if you're married?
You
no,
do. No.
No.
There are tax benefits. There are. Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
the tax benefits like this, bro. I was married for 7 years. It's like this. You know how much pay? I pay like 24 grand straight into federal every year. If I was married, I'd pay 23. It's no different.
Well, I'll say this,
$10
man.
million, The numbers, man, don't lie.
This is what I love about this show. Is that, like, I disagree with you vehemently. I love my wife, Cam. I love my I love my wife. No, I think it's awesome. She watches every day.
She's watching, bro. Craig's like, man, I don't want to lose that 400 million. I love my wife. God, Jesus.
Oh man, if only I had that 400 million to offer. But I'll tell you what, man. Like, I love it. I love it. I love it. It's fun conversation. But I understand your perspective with the idea of, like, you know, with the Steve Harvey situation. But all right, let's get into it. Let's talk some gaming and entertainment, because that is what our podcast is, after all. It's a gaming and entertainment podcast. Let's get into it. Time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for hard news.
Hard news. Nice.
Thank you, Adam. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Adam.
All right. You guys want to start with a we'll start with Nintendo, because why not? Nintendo announced earlier today. You guys know that I'm a big fan of the Mario games. They announced there's a new Nintendo Direct coming exclusively about their new 2D Mario game, Mario Wonder, and it's going to be this Thursday morning for about 15 minutes. Around 9 a.m. our time, which means I'll be waking up early around 9 a.m. and doing a live reaction to it as it's coming out. So make sure you guys pop in. I'll be playing this game when it's released in October, I believe, when it's released.
I think.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. 15 minutes long. It'll give us all the rundown on everything. So looking forward to that. So mark it on your calendars this Thursday morning, getting up early with you guys.
That looks like a fun game, actually, because I really love the Super Mario Brothers for like the Wii.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, hell yeah, it looks super fun. Have you seen that game, Cam?
Yeah. So my opinion on new Mario. Look, I love Mario. I think Mario's the GOAT. Okay, but like Mario 64, for example, playing Mario 64, it's spooky a lot of the time. There's things that are kind of eerie about the game, and same thing with Super Mario. Same thing with any of the Super Mario Brothers 3. You know, going all the way back, games can get a little eerie, which feels like a little bit more human, because life's eerie. If I'm standing in my fridge, Craig, and I'm getting ice water, I got a big, like, you can see from my theater room window, which points out to the woods at night, all the way to my living room window, and it's like all the way through my house. Very long area.
Can we just stop for a second? Can we just stop for a second and just stop down and let everybody know that Cam says he has a theater room?
Yes.
All right, just making sure.
I have a mother-in-law suite in my house when I bought it, and I don't have a mother-in-law. So why the hell? You know, I'm gonna build a theater. So, anyways, I'm getting ice water, Craig, damn you. And then it's spooky as hell because I'm looking off in the distance, and it's just darkness, right? And I'm like waiting for that little girl with long hair to come out and start freaking inhumanly walking towards me. So life is eerie, Craig. So what I'm saying is, when I played new Super Mario Brothers for the first time. I think it was new Super Mario Brothers, and it was like Nick Jr. And I was confused because I'm like running, you know, and it's like and it's playing like Nick Jr. bops like Blue's Clues, and I'm like, why is this? Is this like a 9-year-old kid game now? And I went through the game and I was like, huh, that's weird. Then I went back and played Super Mario Bros. 64 and went to the spooky levels, and it was spooky again. And I was like, this is great. Why is it not spooky no more, Greg? Where's the spookiness?
Well, I think that they're going for maybe some sort of acid trip with Mario Wonder. You know, it has all sorts of crazy talking flowers and things like that. So, you know, it's interesting. But the spookiness, I don't know. I think there's some spooky levels in Mario games, you know.
It's also cute. It's also adorable, Craig.
It is.
It's like, so I play Ocarina of Time. So I'm spooked half the time. Half the time I'm spooked out. I'm like, man, it's spooky as hell in this dungeon. There's like chanting in the fire dungeon. Who's chanting? Who the hell's chanting at me, Craig? It's terrifying.
Well, can I show you something else terrifying really quick?
Yeah.
So talking about old school Nintendo being terrifying. This is terrifying. Back in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, there was this time where they didn't quite have the character flushed out for, you know, Mario, Luigi, right? So they would have, you know, like you go to Disney World, you see Mickey Mouse, right? And you look at how Mickey Mouse has changed over the years, right? So when you look at like Mickey Mouse in 1950, he looks totally different than he does in like 2023, right? Yeah. So there is these people who found this old Mario mascot costume from 1989.
It's gonna be nightmare fuel, isn't it?
Well,
is there gonna be scary music played too?
Right. Here's your scariness flaw. No, this is they're trying to restore it more or less. They've gone in and they've reworked it, but this is what it looked like in 1989. This is what it looked like when they found it.
What happened to him?
He melted.
His face is all squished.
It's amazing stuff.
It's terrifying. Craig, spooky as hell. That should be in the game. You know how like in Zelda 2, at the end of Zelda 2, when you have to fight the shadow version of yourself and it's spooky.
Yeah.
At the end of the new Super Mario Brothers melody. What the hell was that called we just saw? Honey?
Mario Wonder.
Wonder. At the end of Wonder, you should have to fight that dude with a smushed face like that. And he like has a distorted.
Terrifying.
It's a me. Oh God! It's.
I like that. I like that idea. The idea of fighting crush. Like we should turn this into a meme.
Look how faded he is. He ain't even red. He's crimson. He's crimson and navy blue.
Well, this was like in 1989. He was used at the championships
before that heroin hits. Yeah.
And this is where he is today, which is good. So they're reworking.
Better. Yeah.
They're bringing him back. So I thought that was funny. But I do think, like, did you ever see, you know, Mega Man? Cody?
Yeah.
Right. Did you ever see Mega Man when he was first released on the NES back like in the 80s?
And
that box art.
It looked like Tron, like drawn by a 4-year-old, and he's all like, what? Like it looks ridiculous.
Right.
I love that.
So bad box art Mega Man was a thing, and he came out. This is what he looked like on the, and Blabs, this is for your reference here and everybody else. On the cover of Mega Man, this is what he looks like.
Jeremy for a second.
Memers, do your best.
Look how like that. Like who did this? that is like the unpaid intern. Like that is like, hey, it's like we need you to make Mega Man, and they're like, he's like, I can't even draw, dude. He's like, you do it now. You're like, okay, so I'm just gonna give him a little gun.
He looks so shitty, right? He's got a pistol in his hand, right?
Yeah.
So Capcom actually leaned into this several years later, and they put him in Street Fighter Cross Tekken as a playable character because he was so stupid, and they kind of memed it. So all I'm saying is that the internet can do wonderful things. So if we just lean in to this poor guy here, maybe Nintendo can put him in a video game.
Bad every time I look at it.
But yeah, they're gonna be like all not wanting to scare children. I'm like, man, scare the children. Ain't nobody care about the damn children. Just scare them a little. I love getting scared when I was a kid. It's awesome. My grandma used to do it all the time. She was freaking psycho, man. But I miss it, you know.
Miss your psycho grandma?
Yeah, dude, she would hide in the cellar. Like it was wild. I would be playing PlayStation 1.
Dark.
Yeah, dude, you ain't lying. I'd be playing PlayStation 1. I go rent a VHS at the movie gallery, come back, be playing some PlayStation 1, maybe some Xbox had just come out, playing me some what was that game always? Star Wars Obi-Wan. I used to love that stupid game. I'd be playing some games, and all of a sudden the power would go out. Right? Because my grandma would trip the breaker. She'd just take it off. So I'm like, I'm like 9, right? Like no joke. And I'm like pissing my pants. I'm like walking through the house all slowly. This big spooky house that has porcelain dolls everywhere because of grandma, being spooky, how she always is. So I go and I'm like halfway walking through the house, and she starts like blood curdling screaming. I'm 9 years old, by the way. I'm like a 9-year-old bleach blonde skinny kid, like literally pissing. And she's screaming, and I'm like, Grandma, and I get to the cellar door, and as soon as my hand touches the doorknob, she'd just get death quiet.
I
And
gotta
I'm
be
like-
honest.
I'm like, dude. So I pop open the door and I'm like, Grandma, and she would just scream and run at me and grab me, and I would literally like be like blacking out at this point, like of fear. And then I'd start crying. I'd be crying like a bitch, right? And she'd turn the breaker back on, and she'd be like, "Oh, baby," and like pet me and like, "Let me make you some mac and cheese." And I'm like, "All right."
So
Your grandma,
Nintendo Wonder, everybody.
Yeah.
your grandma sounds psychotic.
And sometimes she'd be downstairs in that weird downstairs area that no one goes in. She had a bunch of knights in armor statues in her like
No
downstairs
way.
area. Yeah. And it was just like a bunch of Michelob Ultra signs that are like fluorescent that she never turned off, and a bunch of like statues. And sometimes she'd go down there. I never knew where she was when she was screaming. It was awful, man. I
She
remember
should just
that
dressed in one of the armors.
shit. Yeah, that'd be
suits.
hilarious. No, but yeah, she was a crazy person. She crazy as hell, and then she died, which is expected because she's crazy.
Did
So-
she die after somebody jumped out and scared her?
No,
Because that would have been fascinating.
she died
Karma.
of oldness. You know,
Bummer.
of being like old and
Why don't you just describe old? Because apparently you want to die at 50. You're
Well,
like, oh,
she was 84, and
all right.
like all my aunts and uncles have passed away at this point, except for one of my uncles, which she had 7 kids, and now she has 2, my mom and my uncle. So like I think when one of my aunts passed away, I was 11. She had like a stroke, I guess, because she was just so overwhelmed. And then her brother, my great uncle, died like a week later. So she went from like riding roller coasters and like dancing and like, hey, hiding in places and scaring me to like not being able to walk for like the next 20 years. So yeah,
Wow.
that was it.
The pretty steep decline right there.
Yeah, it was over.
Where-
Man.
Where we all know that your ideal way of dying is having a heart attack with a young 22-year-old girl on top of you, right?
Yeah.
He's like,
21,
I'd like
bro.
to win. Bullseye. Oh, I'm dead.
It's like just that sweet release into the sweet release. That's right. Just
Yeah,
off,
bro.
off
That's
you go to
the thing,
heaven.
too. That is, dude. I've been there too, Craig. Like I've been.
Heaven?
No, what? No. Well, I guess it depends on what you call heaven. But like, nah, dude. Like I'm talking blabs. I'm talking like 10% funk post workout. Girl comes in. She's like, I'm gonna shower. I'm like, no, you're not. That's heaven. No, no, for real. I've been there, Craig, where I've like had a hard workout. I had 5 monsters that day for some reason. Yeah. All fudge shits up. Yeah, he knows what I'm talking about. But like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, for real, cramping and everything. But no, I had like 5 energy drinks one day. Had a lot of pre-workout. Had a hard workout. Was given full beans. Probably 11 p.m. Just baby gravy immediately. And I was like, I thought I was having a heart attack.
Well, congratulations.
I was like, this is it. This is it, Craig.
That's it, huh? Just
But
reach
it
for the
was
sky. That's-
unfortunately wasn't it.
Well, look, I'm glad you're still here. But you've laid out you've laid out your template for death, which is good. So
Yeah.
Hey,
Death by
Slag
Snoo.
and Nanners says, "Mama said girls are the devil." Mama said. Thanks, Slag and Nanners. Appreciate that. Blake wanted to remind everybody that I am in Mega Man Legacy Collection. That's right, I am. That's right.
True.
Thanks, Blake. Appreciate that. I had a level created for that game, which was fun. And Elite Neo says, hell, even Mega Man for the Captain N animated series looks better than the one in the box art. That's true. Yeah, thanks, Elite Neo. Absolutely true. Greatly appreciate your support, guys. Those super chats are massive. They help support the show. Keep us going. Keep us strong on a day-to-day basis. All right, let's move on to some more classic stuff as we move into a new generation. This is kind of interesting. Sonic the Hedgehog, obviously, he's like Mario, transitioned to Sonic. He's obviously huge. Sonic Superstars is the game coming out. It's actually releasing like the same week as Mario Wonder, which I think is a horrible idea.
Yep.
A
Horrible.
competition.
Horrible, just absolutely dumb. But the Sonic Superstars team they're making some interesting art choices because they don't feel that pixel art will be a viable art style in 10 years. They think pixel art is over, it's done, and that as you move along, pixel art is going to look stupid as shit. Y'all's thoughts on that?
I think it reminds me of when they said video games were a fad. I feel like there's always a place for everything as long as it's not completely abhorrent. So
Right.
I feel like it'd be fine.
So they're talking about the way they said last year we released Sonic Frontiers, And what Sonic Frontiers was doing is taking the open zone concept to cement that 3D Sonic gameplay as something we can build on for the next 10 to 20 years and continue bringing new gameplay experiences to players. By the way, Sonic Frontiers just kind of came and went. You know that open world Sonic game just kind of like popped in and popped out.
I didn't even know there was a game of that open world.
Yeah, it came in. It like had a little buzz for like a few days, and then just kind of went away.
That's like every Sonic game in the past like 10 years at least for me. So
that's like Star Wars Survivor, Hogwarts Legacy this year. They came and they went.
Right.
You didn't like Legacy, Bloobs?
No.
Bloobs, all you do is float around with like filters on Instagram with your Harry Potter stuff on. How could you not like Hogwarts Legacy?
Because I got good taste, bro, and I'm picky.
I'll see you. You'll be standing there, and then you like flip your thing, and then you like spin a little, and then you disappear.
That's not Hogwarts Legacy.
You disappear a little, and then you come back in a different place.
So
and
that's
then,
the
and then
Wizarding
the
World.
reel is
Hogwarts
over.
Legacy.
Blabs, the reel is over. There was no punchline. You just disappeared, came back. You just transflooped, and I'm like, I thought she.
What is that? What does transflooped mean?
Transglibin. What do they call it when they go somewhere?
Apparate.
Apparate.
Yeah, same word. Yeah, totally.
Where's the joke?
It has nothing to do with Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy was very much a bland video game slapped with the Wizarding World title on it.
What I'm saying is, you should have liked it more than other people because you got to go and see Hogwarts. You know how I felt, Blabs?
So it was just like a generic Harry Potter video game.
Look into my eyes, Blabs. You know how I felt when I played Harry Potter on PlayStation 2. You know the one where you get to fly the broomstick.
I mean, yeah, that's probably
Quidditch all over the damn ground. You know how I felt? I was amazed. How can you tell me you don't like Hogwarts Legacy when you're supposed to be?
Because it's not a good game.
You apparating and shit in your free time.
There's so many characters that you don't even get it. You don't even give a shit about any of them because they're so one-dimensional.
There's characters. I thought you were your own character. I'm like confused.
All the other characters that you meet, they're just like, okay, this person has this. Okay, we don't give a shit about them. We don't care about anything else about them. They just have like one line and they're gone. And then you introduce some other character. And the biggest question is, it's so diverse. Where'd they all go by the time Harry Potter went to school? It's like Rings of Power all over again. So do not shirt with me, mister. I will destroy you.
You don't like minorities, Blabs. Is this what you're telling me?
Yes, I'm a racist, I guess.
Okay, I agree. We're on the same page.
And clipped.
I'm totally on board. What's up?
Hey, listen.
I'm logical here because there's plenty of like minority characters in Harry Potter. All you have to do is actually showcase some of the way that they're written in Harry Potter, and you'd be fine. But instead, they just threw all these people in for the sake of diversity, and it's bullshit. And honestly, it's kind of insulting. So there you go.
So Sonic is going to be moving away from pixel art.
And that's why we don't like Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah. So they said we look at the pixel art, it's great, but when we think about the next 10 to 20 years in the future, we don't think it's going to be a viable art style or present for our players. And in order to advance and really step things up, we did want to make sure that we're presenting something that 10 to 20 years down the road we're still evolving and creating new content for, which I think is an admirable idea. They're wrong because when you look at pixel art, I think, and chat, this is a good question for you. Pixel art, I think, is pretty timeless. When you go back to the, I always call it video game puberty of like the PlayStation 2 and 64 era where everything was all blocky and crappy and they were trying to figure out this 3D stuff, even into like the PlayStation 3. You look at these games and they look like dog shit, but the games that look good are the pixel art games because it's timeless. It works. Yep. You know, you go back and you look at games from the NES and specifically Super Nintendo when pixel art took the next step and you weren't limited by colors. Like that stuff looks great in comparison. Yep. So,
yeah, but I mean, if it's not dead by now, it's not going to be dead anytime, like ever.
Kind of reminds me of like this Minecraft era, right? Yeah. Like Minecraft is shitty graphics, yet everyone loves playing it just for the sake of, the graphic style, the gameplay, and everything. So I don't really think it's gonna die because if someone likes the way it looks, they're gonna keep playing it.
If the gameplay is goated, it does not matter what a game looks like. I have played every style of game possible. First time I ever played Ocarina of Time, and I know Craig, you won't be really offended. First time I played Ocarina of Time, I was 30 years old.
Yeah, that's okay.
I went through the entire game.
What'd you think?
It's top 5 best games of all time. And I was not blinded by graphical limitations, nor was I blinded by nostalgia.
By the light.
Man, I don't know, man. I went back and I played it recently. I think it's like a 6.
Bro, what's up? I loved
Like,
it.
I don't know, man.
You're in the fire temple and they're speaking different languages.
Yeah, it's cool and all, but I feel like it. I don't know. I went back and played it, and I was like, like there's way better Zelda games than Ocarina of Time. I think for its time, spectacular. Today, but,
I played Majora's Mask directly after and didn't really care for it. I hear a lot of people prefer it.
Well, a lot of people like Majora's Mask is kind of like the trendy, like it's like the goth kids of the 90s, right? Like it's like the cool thing to do, So I don't know. Majora's Mask is like this redheaded stepchild that everyone's like, oh, I really like that. They try to be awesome, but whatever. It's more or less.
I felt really immersed in Ocarina of Time, and it doesn't happen very often. Where I get like really immersed into a game to where I completely forget reality is a thing. That's very rare for me. And I think Bloodborne did it, Elden Ring did it, and Ocarina of Time did it really well. Just sucked me in, man. I was sucked in, bro.
Good, man. I'm glad you got sucked. Let's move on to our
the same thing. I just didn't say it.
You can, Blabs. It probably means more coming from you.
That's true.
Let's move on to our next story. Talking a little Star Wars with the new hit on Disney Plus, Ahsoka. Am I saying that right?
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. So apparently,
Cody's like, I'll suck her, but it's Ahsoka.
So I've heard mixed things about this. Right? Some people say this is awesome. Some people say this is very bland. I've seen this thing about the lightsaber going into somebody and not killing him, and I've not seen this show, but apparently this was like the next big hit coming from the Star Wars world, and it apparently has not been, not been received very well.
No, 1.2 million viewers. 1.2 million. Critical Drinker gets more than that on each video. Okay. And he's like a guy that I drink with. So like putting this out there, I watched Ahsoka. And
the whole thing?
The first 2 episodes.
Okay.
And have you seen like the Clone Wars and all that stuff too? Like you knew who she was, or
hell no.
So you didn't know who she was?
No, I don't. I just, I'm not into the lore. Like I got out of Star Wars when it started getting balls. But yeah, I watched first 2 episodes, and you can obviously tell that Disney Plus is watch time farming, because there's like Midsummer-esque scenes, Ari Aster, where they're just staring at each other for like 45 seconds and nothing's happening. And there's all this weird sexual tension. There's like sexual tension for some reason. Why is there sexual tension? And also, Ray Stevenson, easily the best character and best actor, easily, because he's the GOAT, right? Doesn't do nothing besides stand around and then disappear sometimes. And he sends his little chick off to do things.
She's so tiny. How does she? I mean, I get with the Force and all that, you can just be like, haha, but still.
No, it's like what? I'm sorry. Look, I'm tired. Make one character a guy. It's like 99% of like all the characters are
it's the chick show. It's all 3 of the main characters.
One of them, and they're like none of them are jacked. They're all like tiny, frail ass women, and they're all.
Well, the thing is, like Rosario Dawson's like 50, and she's supposed to. Ahsoka's character is supposed to be really acrobatic and agile and like a ninja basically. And if you watch like even the trailers, she's so slow in it. She's like, eh. I'm like, oh god, why are we doing this? She never should have been live action in the first place.
Yeah, it's just hard to take serious, man, when you have like an entire like militaristic outfit and just everybody's a woman. Like every single person's a woman, every general's a woman. And I'm like, look, I get it. You trying to put a message out there that women can do things, and I don't really think that anyone didn't think that women could do things right now, but it's fine. And then like there's this one scene, spoilers kind of. There's this one scene where like this general lady who is also like a good person because she's a woman, and she's the general, and she's asking this dude about some like droid that has been taken off, and she finds out, everybody finds out at the same time, that this current like manufacturing plant is like has like a bunch of old Empire guys at it, and they are totally still loyal to the old Empire. And it like pans around the room, and all the people that look nervous because they're about to get caught. Like all of them is like a 22-year-old like white dude. Like every one of them, and they're all like thin and like come on.
Scrawny looking, basically.
They're all thin, like 22-year-old, like stoic looking white dudes that are all also like basically like the Nazi guys from the Empire, like all of them. And I'm like, look, I get it. Look, I look in the mirror every day, Craig. I get it. White people are evil, but like I need Ray Stevenson to at least come in and cut somebody in half at least once. Come on, something needs to happen, because I can't watch like a bunch of women that are condescending 99% of the time and like forcing the cool. They're forcing the cool factor. Like they make it a point to show you that Sabine, like the purple haired girl, for some reason, 2016, like SJW like style, like they're like, we got to show you every scene that she's really cool. And I'm like,
oh yeah, they try to do that the entire time. So I watched Reaching Rhino's review, and it's true what Cody's saying, how like the dialogue is very, you say a line, then you say a line, then you say a line. It's like, it's not flowing. It's all choppy. I hear that the music is probably the best thing about it, but like the whole lightsaber where it stabs Sabine like in the liver or kidney or whatever it was. And then she lives, and we're like, okay, but like everyone else is living too now, except for, the original Star Wars, George Lucas. They all died. That's fine.
Yeah, it's the Inquisitor. Like right.
Oh my God, Reva. She survived twice.
And the other Inquisitor. They sort of get stabbed, stomach, totally fine. Reva stabbed, has this weird dramatic scene where she looks all like, oh no, I've been stabbed, it's over. Oh no, she's fine. And then Sabine gets stabbed by a little tiny blonde girl. And then she's like the next scene, she's like waking up and she's like, yeah, bro, it's fine. And I'm like,
let's go.
Why did Qui-Gon die? Is he like just a bitch? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, because the argument that they're making for it, and I'm like, does it really work? Is that he used the Force to keep himself alive for another 20 minutes to talk to Obi-Wan, and then he rolls over and dies. I'm like, really? That's such a cheap, lazy thing.
Let me guess, he just sucks at the Force, Blabs, and everybody else is just so much better at the Force.
He's a Force sucker.
They can just get jabbed right with the thing. And dude has a good point, because I was going to bring that up, not Richard. Like, in episode 1, Qui-Gon Jinn takes his lightsaber and puts it through a blast door like butter, and then just starts burning the door off. But Sabine gets stabbed in the gutular, and like it's not her whole inside should be gone, bro. I don't know, man. It's just hard. It's just I can't watch it. I can't. It just sucks, man. It sucks watching Star Wars and just being like it's so easy to predict all media nowadays, especially if it comes from the Marvel camp or the the Disney camp. Any of those camps, you automatically know. I've called this shit before. I was watching I think it was Obi-Wan. I'm pretty sure it was Obi-Wan. Yeah. So I was watching Obi-Wan because I love Ewan McGregor. And I was like, man, I just please God make this okay. And there's a scene where I think Obi-Wan gets to this like door, this like gate. He passes the gate.
Oh yeah, the gate scene.
And then there's a bunch of like Empire dudes, like stormtroopers and whatnot. And it's like, oh no, this is bad. And then there's like a higher ranking imperial person, and she's like an Indian. Like she's like an Indian. She's of like Indian descent. And I'm like, interesting. And I remember saying it when I was watching it, I was like, oh my God, they're gonna make a bad character, like a
minority woman,
moral character, like an Indian lady. This is actually this is interesting. And fuck, 5 minutes later, she's actually undercover and she saves Obi-Wan. And I'm just like, motherfucker! I'm like, you can call it from a mile away. And I'm like, dude, it's not fun anymore. It's like watching The Usual Suspects, but you know immediately that the old Kaiser Sose's Limpy guy. That movie would suck if you didn't know he was Limpy guy. You know what I'm saying? You find out.
I like the part with Obi-Wan Kenobi where there's like a gate and there's no fencing. He's like, oh my God, how do we get around it?
Yeah, that was a good time.
Walk around the gate right now.
So I think it's important to kind of look at, obviously there's people who have looked at it and said, this is wrong. You can't talk about, it's not accurate. This is not how things would be. And as Andrew points out, he says, I don't care if it's scientifically accurate, but you should respect the internal logic of the films. And stomach stabs usually mean you're gone, right?
Yep.
Yeah, right. It's just about continuity.
So
if it worked for that, it has to keep going.
Right. So there's critiques with all this, right? But I think what you really need to look at here, outside of the critiques of the film and everything, is the viewership of this and how it compares to other Star Wars shows, specifically on Disney Plus. And to put that in perspective, like 1.2 million viewers, like on over the course of like 6 days. That's like from a network TV perspective, that is pathetic. Like if you were to watch the evening news, on any sort of, I don't know, if you were to watch news, whether it's on NBC, Fox, whatever you're, there's multiple millions of people watching that at one time, let alone over the course of 4 or 5 days, 6 days. But when you look at this compared to the Book of Boba Fett, that had 1.7 million views over the course of the first 5 days. Then you look at Obi-Wan Kenobi had 2.14 over the course of
that was because Obi-Wan, big pull.
Of course. And then you look at The Mandalorian season 3 had 1.6. That's the season 3
and that
premiere,
came off of the Boba Fett show where people are really pissed off with that, the ending of Boba Fett.
But I think anytime that they release any sort of new movie or new any sort of property for Star Wars, it's the idea of, like, I don't think they're looking to appease geeks and gamers, right? Or nerderotic, or anybody who has built their brand out of being critical of Star Wars, right? Or anything like that. But I do think that they're trying to win over people who don't care about Star Wars, bring them in, like me. And this hasn't done anything to bring me in to it at all. I guess I have no desire to pay for Disney Plus to watch this. I have no desire to turn it on, even if I did have Disney Plus. So you can see this trajectory. It's tilting down. So this goes back to, has Disney damaged Star Wars so much?
Oh yeah.
That is this repairable? Like, legitimately, that's a question, and this is a question for the chat. Is this repairable?
No.
Yeah, they would. You know what? I talked to a drinker about this the other day. The only way to fix Star Wars is you have to fire or force resignation. Every single person in a position of power, every single writer that has anything to do with the last 10 years, everybody needs to be gone. They need to make a public statement, like a PR thing, getting all these legendary writers, all these people that respect the lore, talk about how they're going to respect the lore going forward. And that's all they should say. We're going to respect the lore in every shape and form going forward. You will not be disappointed. Also, we're the Rey and the Finn and all these characters we brought in the past 8 years or 10 years. Yeah, none of it's canon anymore. And then they bring all the old books back in and they recanon everything. And then the main character is Kyle Katarn. After that, the next 3 movies, Kyle Katarn. That's what I need in my life.
Who's that?
Kyle Walker. Kyle Katarn. So Kyle Katarn was a guy that went and actually trained with Luke. His father.
Yeah, isn't he in the video game?
Yeah, it was Jedi Knight, Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academia. He looks like Chuck Norris, but he has a blue lightsaber. He's great, and he's a badass. And then he fights like a dinosaur-looking dude to kicks his ass. It's a great game. So that's what the character should be based on. Chuck Norris guy, white, stoic, manly man, back to the basics, 1950 time. And then he goes and finds Luke. Luke's a badass. He's not drinking titty milk. And then we proceed in that course. And also, it's great. Make sure it's great. Do everything you can to make sure it's great. They have a free pocket. They have a free chest of gold at their.
Oh yeah, and they totally threw it
and
away.
They choose to ignore it, and I'm so confused.
Well, they did that before too with George Lucas's script. He did some type of script for or treatments, I should say, for the sequel trilogy, and they threw it away. And they're like, nah.
We're gonna do our own thing. But also, it's funny
because Ahsoka is apparently the new face of Disney Star Wars. They came out over the week and said it. So it's really funny because it's got the lowest views, but here we go, having Ahsoka as the face of Star Wars. Now you're like, good job.
Yeah, it would be hard, but there is a way out of it. But they would have to completely get rid of everything that they've invested so much time and money.
They'll never do it.
And then again, the biggest thing is you have all these executives, writers, people that are in power that would have to admit that they were wrong, and that is something they would never do. Yeah,
it's like the hotel, right? They put up the hotel. They base comics and things off of the hotel. Anakin was here, and Luke and Leia and Han were here too, or whatever it was. Ventress came to the hotel too, the Star Cruiser, galaxy thing. And now it's a flop, and now you have these failed comics too. So are they scrapping this galaxy hotel thing too in the comics, just writing it out? So it's just a whole failure, and they're not even going to admit to it.
Yeah.
So, Blabs, you said something that kind of caught my ear. You said Ahsoka is the new face of Star Wars.
Yep, that's what I was seeing over the weekend. Apparently Disney's gonna like make a Ahsoka front and center. You know how it was like the Mandalorian and Grogu for the last couple years. Apparently it's Ahsoka now. She's gonna be the new It girl.
So
Yeah.
there's a new meet and greet on Ahsoka. I guess
Yeah.
Travis is bounced. I'll pop them up here. Okay. You guys asking about Travis? Travis is doing he's doing producer stuff behind the scenes. There you go. He's back now. I think. Anyways, we'll see. He's having internet issues. I'll pull him until he's back in. But there was a meet and greet because he apparently Ahsoka is like a new meet and greet character at Disney.
Yep, she is.
And like the thing is, and this is only just a quick like 7-second clip of the meet and greet, and just kind of seeing how she walks and carries herself. She doesn't strike me as like a likable character, just the way she, like, you know, you'll see this, and I don't know, maybe I'm looking too much into a 7-second clip, which I probably am, but you see kind of like how she holds herself, you know, shoulders back, kind of that, I don't know, a little bit of a, I don't know, almost like a dead personality.
So I think it might also have to do with like the headpiece that the actress has to, like, you know, keep it back so her head is up and all that, maybe. But in Rosario Dawson portrays Ahsoka as like nothing that we've ever seen before. Like Ahsoka in the like cartoons, she's kind of snippy, she's kind of sassy and everything, but she's not I don't really find her to be a bitch. I mean, she was at one point bratty, but she was also 13 years old, so the perspective there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think the new live action is nothing like we've seen before. She's very stony and stoic, and I don't really like that, and it kind of shows that way.
The face of Star Wars needs to be cool. And there has not been a character in Star Wars that has been cool since like season 1 and 2 of Mandalorian. Like, that's a cool character, regardless of how the show ended up going. The character's cool. Character's quiet, direct, makes like kind of goofy, like, you know, like jokes like Captain Malcolm Reynolds sometimes, just a quick little hoo-hoo funny, like a serious yet funny kind of, you know, that's a good, you need a stoic, good, masculine character that can be funny and lighthearted, but it's just way harder to make a female character that way. Female characters work good how they work in real life, and that's by being feminine and being powerful through the means of being a female.
Yeah, like Leia and Padme.
Yeah, when you watch old media and like you have, like, there's the guy and he's like in great shape and he's extremely smart and witty. He's got his tailored suit on. You know, he's got quips, cool ass character. The female comes in and she's got a long red, like shiny dress on. She's the lady in red. She's you know, she's extremely confident, yet slightly insecure when she meets the stoic man, and they fit each other like yin and yang. It's a great character. Strong female characters don't have to be exhibiting toxic masculinity to need to exist. You don't need to write male characters and then cast them as female. It doesn't make any damn sense. But that's all they really do now. And now they're trying to say the face of Star Wars is tentacle head lady that's stoic and doesn't say anything and just stares at everybody. No one's going to buy that, because everybody that wants to buy stuff are 9 to 12 years old. And when you're a 9 to 12-year-old person, you look at the guy that has abs, that's flexing, and freaking driving a Lamborghini. You're not looking for the lady. It's just not how that works.
I think the thing is a lot of people, whether it's Star Wars or any property, right? They don't want their characters to be boring. There needs to be some depth to them, right? They can be strong, they can be heroic, they can be all those things, but they do need to have some insecurities. They do need to have some flaws. That's kind of the knock on Superman for the longest time, was he's too perfect, right? He's boring. That's, you know, you hear that all the time. And they've had to give Superman flaws over the, you know, Superman's invincible except for this, you know, the kryptonite and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, you want to see these vulnerabilities in these characters, and that ultimately will add to the story, because they need weaknesses with all this. So
there needs to be a character arc. You can't just be Rey from Star Wars and be good at everything, smart, insightful, a god, perfectly trained, super, like, witty, everything like possible rolled into it without any preparation. It doesn't make any sense. Your character needs to go through some kind of damn turmoil and trauma and grow from said turmoil and trauma. You don't just come into the thing. I'm a lightsaber battling god. It's like, what? And when did you train? Yeah, don't worry about it. Like it's lame, dude. It's super lame.
I like that idea. That where did you train? Don't worry.
Don't worry about it. Fine.
Yeah, that was Ray basically.
That's good. Hey, Soccer came in as a sub for 2 months, 10 total months over on Twitch. This 10 months now. So now I'm a baby +1. That's right, Soccer. Thank you very much. And Peter came in with the $5 Canadian super chat. Says, question for Cam: have you seen the movie Gran Turismo? Are you planning on seeing it?
I was not until Drinker recommended it and said it was a lot of fun, and I was like, oh, that's unexpected. So
yeah, it's an interesting premise for sure.
I was going to say, dude on Rumble for $1 says, in Empire Strikes Back, when Han cut open the animal and Luke were riding on in the snow planet to put him and Luke inside to stay warm, he didn't just cut, but also boiled the innards. So yeah, what he's saying is like in Empire Strikes Back, he cut open that tauntaun to keep Luke warm, and it basically boiled everything. Like a lightsaber should, because it's freaking hot. You burn yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Iron Buddha came in with the 5. Thank you so much. Iron Buddha says, a little perspective. The show Lost used to get 14 to 15 million viewers per episode. Disney needs those kinds of numbers. It'll never happen. Yeah. And to put that in further perspective, the internet was not what it is today when Lost was on. So, you know.
Well, think about it this way, Craig. I'm a dumb redneck man from Alabama. I have no preparation. I don't have any budget. And I cut on my camera randomly one day and started talking about how, you know, all my friends left and I'm in my 30s now. And now I rely on friendship from people, you know, online that I've met through that. It's like a 9-minute video, 10-minute video. It got 1.4 million views, I think, in the first 3 days. That's more than Ahsoka got. And they had like $100 gajillion budget.
Right.
Put that in perspective. Like, they have no idea what their audience wants. Nothing, like no idea. Not even.
No, I think they do. They just don't give a shit.
Well, no, they might think that a subset of their audience wants a certain thing, but that's problematic. And those people aren't what they call fans because they want toxic content. And they're not willing.
I think Craig kind of hit it right before that. They're trying to appeal to normies because they don't even want the real Star Wars fans. They want to try to make a whole other fan base because that's what they've done. They've alienated everybody else, so now they gotta go and start again with a whole new group.
It reminds me of how you'll have these video game companies or movie studios making decisions based on people screaming online. So they'll try to make their content around those people who aren't even buying their content. It's like you'll have some random pink-haired lady say, I don't like this feature in Elden Ring. It's gross. And she shares a screenshot. So From Software is like, hey, we're going to take out this feature because we heard it's blah, 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 which they would never do. But let's say they did that. That pink-haired lady's still never going to play the game nor buy it. And anybody that retweeted it's not either. So all you're doing is alienating core fans. You are not bringing anybody in. You're just further chopping off.
You're listening to someone who's not even your audience in the first place.
That's the whole point. Dude, all you had to do, Bloobs, on Obi-Wan, star on the show, is just have Obi-Wan in the desert, and it's Ewan McGregor, and he's like, oh, wow, I'm in the desert. And then, like, a new, like, Sith person that's, hunting down people come down, and they freaking lightsaber duel all the time, and it's kick-ass. And then Vader comes down, and they lightsaber duel, and then, like, the Force throw some shit, have a really high choreography, make it cool, play some music, turn the show off. It'd have been great. But they couldn't even do that. They had to bring in a 6-year-old that was awful actress. Look, she's 6. I get it. That's just how this works. She's 6 years old. But God, why is Leia in this? And also Reva, the Inquisitor lady, was like the worst actress I've ever seen. There's a scene where the ship is flying off or something, and she's like holds her lightsaber up, almost as in like high school quality acting, and was like, I'm gonna get you, Obi-Wan. And I'm like, dude, I will kill myself in front of God and everybody.
Yeah, very cringy.
How could you do it? Like, it's impossible to watch. It is a travesty. And I'm like, you had a slam dunk. There was nobody. Everybody on the other team had passed out at the same time, like 1 in a billion chance. And you're one shot away, and all you gotta do is go lay that bitch up in. And you know what you did? You did a half-court shot for no reason, and you lost. God, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hal came in, says competence is fine. Just explain it. There's a big difference between Rey Skywalker and someone like Joanna Dark.
Yeah, God, I love Joanna Dark. Oh, what a beautiful.
Thank you, Hal.
Love Perfect Dark, man.
And Metastep came in, says, in my opinion, Disney is going after the demographic with the most disposable income, teenage girls. Hence the girl boss feminist crap marketing.
Yep.
They don't have money though, because a lot of these kids don't even want to get jobs and shit. So they have no money.
Yes, so the most sought after market is definitely that age group, females. But the issue is 13-year-old females also like the guy with the 6-pack abs. That's stoic. They don't want a girl boss. No one wants the girl boss. Because 13-year-old girls are rebelling against that figure right now. They don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
They want to do with the abs. That's sweaty looking. Why you think Chris Hemsworth they gonna make their budget in a Thor movie as long as they rip his shirt off at one point? Oh, you think it's for me? It might be. I love it. But they know what their audience is getting into. They're wanting the abs. There's a reason why they make his ass naked in every damn Thor movie. It's not rocket science. Chris Pratt. Oh, look, he has abs. How cute. Oh, look Chris Evans. His abs is out. Wonder why. Yeah.
I've said this.
Contract.
I've said this a million times. Like, there's this shift for like, body positivity and all this stuff over the last few years. And it's like, at the end of the day, guys still like boobs. Yeah. Girls still like abs. Yeah. Right? Like, that's just the way it is. And that's the way it will be forever. And you can fight it, but it's just built into us. And it's the way it is. So
simple change, Craig. They could take Ahsoka and recast her as somebody that's like 29 or 30, and then take the Sabine and then just put them in bikinis and they have the same story. And suddenly it'd probably be ranked to like a number or two higher, maybe 2 million first 6 days. I'm just saying. You put some boobs. You just pull their boobs out, put fat asses on them, you're good to go. Right?
That's the end of the there it is. Will through life with Brian, it points it out.
Yep.
Yeah, but all they do is they put like these giant freaking garbs on them that don't show off nothing.
Yeah, and it's really funny because speaking of that, for Ahsoka, she never takes off her cloak, even though everyone else, like in the prequels and all that, took their cloaks off so it wouldn't get caught when they're fighting and dueling. And yet she's like, "Nah, I'm gonna wear this baggy ass clothes and fight with 2 sabers." Like, okay.
Let's move on to some more fans of a different product here, a different variety. Speaking of boobs and abs, this is a report that came out. This is ridiculous. Only the founder or the owner of OnlyFans, I guess there's one guy who owns OnlyFans, apparently earned $1.3 million in bonuses last year per day.
Hell yeah, dude.
Per day. $338 million for essentially providing an outlet for women to take their clothes off.
For women to be hoeing it out on the internet.
Smart man. I should have thought of it. Damn.
What's amazing is OnlyFans wasn't originally created to be that. It was supposed to be a Patreon competitor.
Yeah, it was supposed to be for celebrities to like show off their shoe collections and their like daily habits.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, but why would anybody want to see Tiger Woods' like golf clubs? Like, no, I want to see Tiger Woods' ass cheeks, bro. Like, it's pretty obvious what that was. Yeah, so yeah, smart man, and I'm sure people are angry at him because like, oh, we have people struggling, they're on OnlyFans showing their asshole for $5, and this guy's making a 1.3 million a day. Yeah, well, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be able to look up our neighbor on OnlyFans that we saw. Okay.
And so it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Hiya, neighbor.
Yeah, that's how it is too. You think you got to buy that shit? No. Like, there'll be a girl at the gym. She's like, hey, yeah, follow me on Instagram, and I see that OnlyFans link, and I'm like, bro, I'm googling this because you can Google it. It's all there. It's just you ain't gonna have new releases. I don't need no new release, baby. I just want to see your ass cheeks.
How many girls have you met that have OnlyFans? Cam?
Oh God, a lot, dude. Like,
really?
Tons. Yeah.
Wow.
Like every other girl I meet has an OnlyFans.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Really? Like, this is like a thing? Like, I don't know. I'm 42 years old. I'm not in this scene anymore.
I'm a terrible titty streamer. I don't have OnlyFans.
So there is the hospital down by the city where I live. There's this big ass hospital, and they actually had to make it a policy that that nurses could not talk about their OnlyFans because almost every single nurse on the floor was telling like patients and doctors and stuff to subscribe to their OnlyFans. Like every nurse in the
What?
building had an OnlyFans. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Big ass hospital full of big ass nurses.
They all just look at my vagina lips. I'm like, bro, if they don't look like a freaking McDouble on the ad, not the real one, the ad, then I ain't interested.
That is crazy, man. I it's just a totally different world than what it is, man. But I'll tell you what, I would never personally, I would never date a girl who was into the OnlyFans thing, 100%. Man.
Yeah, dude, I'll make a deposit any day of the week, but I ain't dating you. That's for sure.
Make a deposit. Love it. All right, let's move on to another platform that is that we're on right now. Let's talk about YouTube because they announced something this morning, which I don't know if we'll see. We'll see how people respond to this. I looked at this and I kind of perked my eyebrow a little bit because I was intrigued by this. Okay, so let's go to the YouTube liaison. This is a guy who he's like, I don't know if you don't follow this guy on Twitter, you should probably follow him. Okay, he's in YouTube. He's going to tell you the keys to success, apparently. Right. So they had a big update, huge update to community guideline warnings. Okay, so they had a video about this as well, but just kind of go through this here right here. It says if you get a warning, you'll be able to take educational training, right? Educational training. If you don't violate the same policy for 90 days, the warning will be lifted from your channel with individual warnings per policy vertical. So there's now, instead of like just a big blanket warning on your channel, it's, you get one for gaming, you get one for cooking or whatever, right? Which is good, I guess. And community guidelines and strikes are not changing, just the warning system. Okay. So the idea in theory is that if you get a warning, you can go take some sort of class to get it removed. Think of it like when you get a speeding ticket, you go take a class and you get deferred. What is it called? Deferred judicated. I don't even know. You know what I'm talking about.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, whatever.
Jurisdiction.
No, I don't even know what you guys know.
I don't know.
So I responded with to this, and I just said, like, in the interest of transparency, right? Like, why not just make the training available to everyone from the start before they get a warning, so they know what the rules are before they play the game.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, this makes just a ton of sense, just making it available. And naturally they responded to that, saying like, hey, you can follow this information. Let's see. Where is it? He deleted that. Interesting. He had a retweet of a response to that. Oh, there it is right here. He said anyone can go read up on the community guidelines at any time, which is, I said, that's excellent. But having the training available from the start would prevent creators from having to, quote, re-educate themselves, right? It would remove the guesswork. So I guess my thought on this is the idea of like the education process, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of scary to me. It's like,
commie like.
Yeah, it just sounds like it sounds like you have to go to a re-education camp because you said you accidentally misgendered somebody. So you got to go to that re-education camp. Sensitivity training, bro. And
I feel like that's a kind of a slippery slope, very slippery slope. If you want to make content on our platform, you better get educated about the way we want you to think, and we want you to speak, and we want you to present your content, which I understand about community guidelines, but at a certain point, like,
there's a limit.
There is a limit for sure. So
that's why you should go to Rumble.
That's right. Yeah.
Rumble's been real good lately. Rumble's been really cool. It's not quite there as far as income goes, but it's every single month. It's a bigger portion of my income. It's like 10%, 15%, 18%, 20%. I'm like, all right, let's get to 100%. So I ain't gotta worry about this garbage no more. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I said this a million times. In an ideal world, we sign some sort of small deal with Rumble, which allows us to kind of do our podcast over there. We'll start it over on YouTube, push people over to Rumble. We grow on Rumble, which we're growing. We're closing in on 3,000 followers over on Rumble, all organic, which is great. Yep.
We right now for this show, about a quarter of our audience watches it over there. So if we can start making the transition over there, that'd be great. It's so hit the follow button over at rumble.com/SideScrollers, because once again, we'll see if there's any pushback from this, because on the surface, this all sounds okay with YouTube. It's like, well, we'll give you this opportunity to have this struck off, but you got to make sure you do this. I just think if they just provided all this re-education stuff, the lessons up front, and made it all transparent, I think that's really a win-win for everybody. So
yeah, I think what it boils down to is Rumble right now is in this phase where they're trying to sign like people for like $50 million over and over and all that stuff. Like they're trying to get into that space where the most important thing is a PR announcement, like Kick and all them. Like, we signed the Kai Cent, blah blah blah. It's like 50 million, blah. Like the money's irrelevant. No one cares. The content's irrelevant. It's all about that PR and that press release they get to put out and be like, we signed Rise Scum, everybody, and everybody starts retweeting it and social media mentions. So once Rumble gets back into the game of, signing, small, like livable deals, like $200,000-$300,000 on a 2-year contract or something, to creators that are bringing in a lot of people organically, I think that'll really help out, because there is an endless sea of creators, especially streaming creators. I mean, I'm about to hit 20K on Rumble, and it's with all organic. So just 20,000. I have 400, 500 people watching concurrently, always on Rumble. Is Rumble rants. I get a quarter of the Rumble rants every single day that I would get, super chats. So it's coming. It's just, I do think they need to start getting away from like trying to sign like every other Logan Paul for $50 million. Right. Because I feel like it gets a little too convoluted. You want people that are not there for the once a month content and the PR press release and the tweets that go around it. You want people there that are working boots on the ground 6 days a week, streaming, bringing content to your platform. And you want those people in a plethora. You want thousands and thousands and thousands of creators doing that every single day. You don't just want your front page to be Logan Paul every day, because let's be fair, we're not gay. I'm not gay. I don't want to see Logan Paul every day, and I'm not 13. So right. Unless you're gay or 13, you don't want to watch Logan Paul. So the demographics that Rumble's trying to pull in with like trying to sign like high show speed and stuff, that you're going to bring in like a bunch of 12-year-olds, and that's almost like Disney trying to make a product for people that aren't buying. That's what that feels like to me.
I'll say this about Rumble. Rumble takes the next step when you can go to their platform and find how to fix your car, or how to, do something around the house. And right now that none of that's on there. There's no how to fix it. Like, people go to the University of YouTube every day to find solutions for their day-to-day problems. Right now, Rumble's not there yet, and I don't think it will be for several years, but it'll certainly take time. Brahma Noodles came in with the $19.99 super chat. Says, I think the bigger problem is that we lost the ability to write good stories. Speaking of Star Wars, says, maybe all the good writers are spread too thin with all this content. Maybe we lack the depth of experience to create something compelling. Man, there's a lot there. And there is so much content that is being produced at all times. Literally, as we're talking right now, there's thousands of hours of content happening on the line right now in real time, done by people that, as Cam says, set up their webcam and go. And you know what? People would prefer to watch that than they would a lightsaber fight. But from a scripted perspective, when you have, instead of, I don't know, like you go back 30 years and there's 20 different networks. Now there's infinite number of networks, including YouTube channels. And so naturally, and I use this analogy. Yeah, I use this analogy, when it comes to sports, is like, as you add more sports teams, the player pool spreads thin, and players who shouldn't be playing in that sports league are probably playing in that sports league that wouldn't have been in that sports league 20 years ago, when the teams are stronger. So anyways, just an analogy for you.
Yeah.
Matthew says Rumble should sign Camelot to 50 mil so we can get his Ferrari.
That's for damn sure. I can't agree more. 5 million can get me a Ferrari. What are you talking about? 50? Shit. I'd disappear to an island. I wouldn't even put out a video. It'd be gone.
Be gone. See ya.
Yep. I would do the same. Bye.
All right, we got I got time for just a couple more things real quick. Let's go to Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat released a new trailer today for their new game, and it's Mortal Kombat 1, and it has Batista in it. Batista's the main guy in it, and it's kind of a play off of the old Mortal Monday commercial. Do you remember that back in the day, Cam? The Mortal Kombat commercial from like the 90s?
I probably do. It's been so long now.
So the idea here is that he's going through and he just, Batista walks up and he goes, Mortal Kombat. And just people kind of go through and they get obsessed with Mortal Kombat. And then there's insanity through the city and blah, blah, blah. And there's all these people running through. And there's several nods to the old school ad, specifically this right here, which is, I believe it's the exact same guy from the commercial from 30 years ago from Mortal Kombat.
That's cool.
Which is very, very cool. He said, see if you can spot any Easter eggs from Mortal Kombat 1. And here it is right here. This guy has it right here. Caught it immediately. And maybe it's not the exact same guy, but it sure looks it. But they recreated the shot of this guy, which I thought was, pretty cool. So the trailer itself, it has a very old school vibe to it. Talks about it as, the game as well, which, I'm excited for it, which, by the way, I want to point out, a lot of people have been asking about me taking a look at the old Screw Attack top 10s and stuff like that, old Screw Attack stuff. And we're about 6 months in to SideScrollers, and I've said all along, this whole SideScrollers thing is going to start with the podcast, and we're going to be doing other stuff as well. Next week, I'm going to be doing an old reaction to a Screw Attack top 10. And then hopefully by Friday, I'll have an updated version of that list by Friday. So Monday is a classic look, and then on Friday, we'll have something brand new. So could be fun to look at. Just to give you guys a heads up on that on Monday. Cam, I figured you like this, man. Did you play Mortal Kombat 3 back in the day?
Oh yeah.
All right. Do you remember?
I have it on right. Well, this is probably Mortal Kombat 1, but yeah, dude, Mortal Kombat 3 was the GOAT.
That's good stuff.
Loved it.
Fun stuff. I mean, it's a real good game, real fun game. But Sonya and this actually happened a couple of years ago, but this has been passed around in the last little bit. Have you seen the screenshot of the actress from Sonya?
Yeah, she dressed back up as it. It was pretty cool.
Oh my god, yeah. This was from a couple of years ago, but it's making its way around right here. This is from Reddit.
Yeah.
Her name's Carrie Hoskins, and this was her back in 1993 or 4, whatever it was. And this is her today, looking all abbed out, looking just all.
She looks great, man.
Ridiculous.
Awesome.
So 25 years later, she's 52, and she looks freaking banging. So
yeah.
So it is possible, Cam, to look great past 52.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. So
You gotta live up to that, man. Past 50.
That's good stuff.
Oh.
It's like I'm too far gone. The time has come.
Tommy came in with a 5. Says, "Hail panel. I want to make videos, but I'm awful at thumbnails, and I don't know what to use to edit videos. Any cheap ways to do this for fun?"
DaVinci Resolve is a free editor.
Yeah, you can use. I used Cyberlink for free for a long time until I decided to just pay for it. But I knew nothing about editing or thumbnails when I started, and I just learned it. So you have to just be you got to just dive in, man, because no one's going to teach you how to do it. If there was something I didn't know how to do, I would quite literally Google it. It's like, how do you split a clip in half? And then you Google it and it's like, oh, you press Control T on Cyberlink. And I'm like, well, God, the poop. So I started doing that and became really proficient at editing and thumbnails. And then I got an editor, and now I don't edit anymore because I can't stand it. But I do still do my own thumbnails because I prefer it. And I feel like I've gotten pretty good at that as well.
Yeah, thumbnails are something. And anybody who you talk to at YouTube says, like, all the metadata, all that stuff is great, but 95% of your viewership comes from thumbnails and titles.
Yep.
And you see that consistently over and over and over again. The way to draw people in is that. And I was looking at this. There was a guy who was a YouTube expert, right? He's like one of those dudes who helps people blow up their channels. And when you release a video on YouTube, they have that, where does it rank 1 through 10? Your ranking, right? And this guy released a video, and it was like an 8 out of 10. They went and they changed the thumbnail. It went to 1 out of 10, just spiked. You know, so
Yep.
thumbnails are massive as far as discovery goes.
That little ranking system was like will make or break you, like mood. I think my last 5 out of my last 10 videos have been 1 out of 10.
Let's go.
So like when you know that 9 out of 10, 4 in a row is coming, because it eventually is. Like you can't escape it. Eventually you're gonna get that 1 out of 10 like 4 or 5 times, and you're like, you're waiting for that 10 out of 10 because it's coming, because it has to bounce back out. Like, because you can't gonna just keep increasing. So I'm always like, oh, here we go, 1 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. I'm nervous getting that. Dude, my last video had a 24% click-through rate.
That's ridiculous. Like, what was the thumbnail for it?
It's called Things Just Got Worse for Linus Tech Tips, and it got a lot of views, and the thumbnail was real good. I was real proud of it. And yeah, it had a 24%, and then after the first 3 hours it had a 20%, and then it had an 18%, and I think it's still at 18%, but it stopped getting recommended, of course, because it's like been 6 days.
Well, I mean, it's a 10-minute video, so people are probably watching 50% of it. So you got your 5-minute watch time, right? You gotta your thumbnail here is great. You know, you got a beautiful color around it. You got your big old face, and you're topping on a trend, which was huge.
Yeah.
And the title itself, you know, drama. You know, so
yeah, I started putting like colorful squares around all my thumbnails. I don't know why. Works. I just thought it was really nice looking, and I got the first couple times I did it, it was like 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna keep doing this. So I just kept doing it.
Well, sounds like we got a new strategy on the SideScrollers channel with bright, yes, rainbows all the way around. Absolutely,
yeah, dude.
Lucas came in as a member for 2 months. Says, I disagree. Lucasfilm wants a certain content that is anti-George Lucas. Writers raised on George Lucas Star Wars are not wanted. That's where we are.
Yep.
Lucas,
yep.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Appreciate that. There you go. Absolutely. Readily says, stop putting bikini girls in your thumbnails, Craig. We don't have any bikini girls in our thumbnails, although we should.
Has nothing to do with the actual video. It's like you could have something about Sonic. Sonic is done with pixel art, and then it just has a picture of Sonic, and then there's just a chick with like fat boobies.
Sonic bikini on. There you go.
Just beside him, and it's like, what is that? No, I don't know. Just click it. Fuck it.
That's yes. Maybe we'll start doing that. Tell you what. That's funny. All right, let's get to some memes. We got a shit ton today, which is great, guys. Thank you very much for your memeage over there. Travis has joined us again. Travis, is your internet okay, buddy?
Yeah, it's working.
Okay, cool. Good. Well, I'm glad. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7. We got 7 memes.
Yep.
Wow, that's a lot. That's crazy. Let's go take a look at them. Travis, was there something you wanted? I saw you mentioned you wanted to talk about something real quick.
Yeah, we just have 2 G2s that are doing fundraisers. One is for his girlfriend, soon-to-be wife, who has an aortic issue, and one is for a G2 who needs to raise $300 more for his wedding. So I will post them within 5 minutes in the Discord.
Which G2 is looking for the wedding stuff?
Soccer. And it was Chanko, I think was how you say his name, whose girlfriend has the issue.
Wait a second. Didn't we give Soccer, like we donated to Soccer so we can get a venue?
We gave him $500.
Yeah.
He had some issues, one of them relating to his car, I believe. That set him back. So
okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, let's take a look at these memes here. So just so I'm clear, that 500 didn't go to the wedding?
I don't know. I believe he paid for the venue already, and it's just other things he has to pay for. And I believe he got a flat tire, and something else happened.
Okay, just saying that's fucked up if it doesn't. So, all right, let's go over here. Let's go to Cloud and let's check this out. It says Craig and Blabs on their way to hang out with Cody. After that day, Craig never went on a road trip with Blabs again. What movie is this?
Rush Hour.
Oh, it is Rush Hour. That's right. With in the background. That's right.
I want to point out that in car rides, I actually ignore Craig. So
that's right. This is very, very true. Very, very true.
And I also put another meme in private chat.
I just got it. Superman says pool party at Camelot's crib. Here we go.
And I want alcohol. We'll take bartender. We'll take another alcohol.
Full chicken.
It's orange.
I slept 4 hours last night, so I don't know.
Seven orders of honey chicken crispers.
Asshole.
It burned.
Nice. That's us hanging out with looking for some chicken crispers. Be good. If we go to your house and hang out, Cam, can we have chicken crispers?
Oh yeah,
In the
dude.
pool.
Some Slim Chickens. There's a place down the road called Slim Chickens. It's so good, dude. God, it's so.
Can we eat chicken in the pool?
Yeah, the pool. My pool skimmers are like super high powered.
Man, let's go. Let's get
Drop
that pool
anything.
chicken. We got this one from Cloud. Says Craig is terrified of bug-eyed blabs. What the fuck is that? Oh. Oh no.
Shit.
Get
KO.
crushed. Get crushed.
Fatality.
Then we got this one. Hey, it's Jeremy. Look at that from No Green
It
Rock.
looks
Weird
so
how it-
accurate, man.
It doesn't even look any different. It looks the exact same.
Yeah.
Like it's
There's
no
no
different.
difference.
That's great.
We need another meme where it's like corporate wants you to find a difference between these two photos. It's the same photo.
Yeah.
We got this one from No Green Rocks as well. It says Camelot thought he could move on and get over his fears. He was wrong. Let's check it out.
I'm not afraid anymore.
Run. The hell was that?
I think
Home Alone.
it was my grandmother.
Yeah.
Oh, oh boy. Then we got this one from Jackson over here. He says Filoni Star Wars Wolves and Waifus. Let's see. Dave Filoni. This is a Clone Wars spinoff. Dave, this is the seventh time in a row you've shown us the Clone Wars spinoff. Oh, hold on. Star Wars Heir to the Empire. This is brilliant. But what it really needs now is more Ahsoka.
Oh yeah, they basically swapped Ahsoka instead of Luke now.
Yep.
There we go.
Rough.
And then we have this one from No Green Rocks as well. It says Cam knows exactly what the people want.
And flick.
Oh, hold on.
And flick.
Oh, all that nudity. You know it.
Yeah, I do.
Check out
Nice face.
Cam over here. My God, look at that body. Sweet Jesus. Easy,
Yeah, he looks
easy.
good.
Hemsworth. Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have this one. Oh, you like that, Blabs?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
What woman doesn't? What straight women? I gotta say that now, or else someone get offended. What straight woman doesn't like that?
We got this one from Cloud. Says the gang plays Mortal Kombat.
Mama.
I wish how big my head is.
Scorpion wins. Fatality.
I like how
Like-
Blabs just dies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
everybody-
that's twice
everybody
today.
was-
Craig killed
Everybody
me.
was having a great time, and then Blabs just dies.
Twice, man.
Yeah, I've killed Blabs twice during the meme segment, which is great. So awesome. I love that.
I did tell you were gonna die, right, Bob?
It's true. You did say it within 50 years. I guess my time was
See?
today.
It's
And
good.
it was Craig who did it.
Oh, and we got this one from one more from Cloud over here. This is actually a great little face swap here. Look at Blabs.
Holy shit! That's
great.
crazy.
Good stuff right there. Nice.
I'm getting tagged in more memes, so I'm just gonna share my screen and make it easier.
It's actually pretty amazing.
All right, there we go. We got one from core member, late meme. Super Blabs. Why do I look so pissed off?
Yeah, why do you look pissed?
I don't know.
I-
There we go. I caught up. Okay.
There you go. All right, guys. Thank you very much for popping in today, everyone. And big ups to Cam for popping in, man.
Mhm.
What a stud dealing with this 4-day hangover. Look at those arms. Look at him go. Look at him go. Look at that. Just look at that. What's your body fat
Oh,
percentage
look!
right now? What's your,
His
Oh,
titties
God.
wiggle.
It's probably like 15%.
nah, you're not at 15. Can you see your abs?
It depends if I'm dehydrated. Like the first day of my hangover, my abs looked great. Then I was taking liquid IVs like 3 times a day,
Mhm.
and I like look plump as hell now. So
Like, plump it up. Well, there you go. Everyone go subscribe to Cam. Appreciate you coming on, man. Always a stud. And congratulations with your 25% click-through rate on your latest video.
That was pretty sweet. Yeah.
Pretty sweet. Did you get a lot of subscribers from that?
No. Well, yeah. I got like 600. It's just then they turn my channel off. I have a video coming out in 20 minutes, though.
Oh, boy.
That I'm expecting a high click-through rate. So we'll see.
I'll go watch it in 20 minutes. What's it about?
I do a complete breakdown of Linus Tech Tips' new apology video.
Oh, man.
I have a really good insight to it because I've been in corporate environments my entire life since I was a kid. So I understand how executives and corporations write their scripts to try to make amends to people they feel like they have wronged in perception. And I can see right through it. So I go through the entire thing and explain everything that he's saying from a perspective on how to catch these things. 'Cause I've worked in corporate environments as well. I've been trained in these things. And a lot of people on like the subreddit, they're like, oh, wow, he legitimately cares. And I'm like, corporations don't care about people. Like they got a guy to read a script, which you can see he's reading the whole time. And it's all very disingenuous. And I explain why, because there's a meaning behind every single like point that he brings up. And I break down all the meanings behind it. And people will be pissed because people have been pissed at every one of these videos I've made. But the ratios are still around 90% on all of them. So,
man, well, ride that train, man. Ride that Linus Tech Tips train. Love that. All right. Speaking of riding the train, head over to the SideScrollers Plays channel and join me for a live stream in just a little bit. I have an idea of what I'd like to do, but you won't know until you hit the subscribe button of exactly what I'm going to do. Also, later today on the SideScrollers Plays channel, we're going to be releasing 2 videos of Blads versus Sonic, one shortcut and one long cut. Ultimately, it's your job to decide which one you like more. You need to watch both of us and let us know in the comments which one you like. Little editor versus editor fun, because we had 2 different cuts, 2 different editors from one video. So we'll see how you guys like that. Appreciate you guys popping in. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys over on the SideScrollers Plays channel in just a little bit. Go watch Cam's video going up in about 20 minutes. I'm sure it's going to blow up with a 25% click-through rate. You guys remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. Catch you guys later. Bye-bye.